Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we have the full patch notes for update 4.6, the Crescent and Io, Luna Snow, Sharon Rogers, Morgan Le Fay, all female badass, plus surprise Hyperion rework update. Yes, if you've seen the live stream that I did on Facebook, if you watched it on Twitch, if you watched it again on YouTube, things are going down, and it's pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie. So when you log into the game now, you'll see the maintenance notice. The maintenance notice is actually really important this time around because they've thought of the North American players, and they've actually moved the maintenance up 1 hour. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot considering that they have to do the maintenance from South Korea, so the timing there is totally different. So they're starting it an hour earlier at 6 p.m. EST rather than 7 p.m. when I usually start my stream, which means that they'll be ending it an hour earlier, at least as far as their own notes go. They'll be ending it at 10 p.m. PST, which is 1 a.m. EST, my time, New York time, Brazil time. So instead of being at 2 a.m., it'll be at 1 a.m., which is an extra hour to actually enjoy the game because a lot of people have to go to work the next day. So yeah, with that being said, here's the self-plug. Get your ass to twitch.tv/Cynicalex. Make sure that you're there when I'm live. Even if you're about to fall asleep, it's going to be incredible. We had over 1,500 people for the Facebook live stream. I can't imagine how much more epic it's going to be for this update, and I'll be getting almost everything right away. Unfortunately, there is no Luna Snow tier 3, so it's a very easy decision for me to tier 3 Sharon Rogers as soon as I can, and we'll take it from there. Now, jumping into the patch notes, there's a lot, so we're gonna get through it pretty quickly. We're gonna offer a brief reaction to all of the characters. Crescent and Io seem to be, at least on paper, not as strong. Strong leadership, some strong effects for the summons, but you have to remember that summoned characters usually, or characters with summons usually have lower base stats. So we can't see Crescent's base stats yet. We have to wait until she's in the game. So it's hard for us to judge just how strong she'll be. If she has regular combat base stats, which are the highest in the game, she may be a powerhouse like Sharon Rogers was and Luna Snow, but if not, we may see a bit of a difference there. She does have some pretty strong skills with different effects, different buffs. She has accumulation, which gives her a total of 150% damage buffed, because 15 times 10, so that's a pretty substantial amount. She doesn't have any all defense down effects, but she does have a pretty whopping 5th skill with ignore defense, ignore dodge, penetration, heal, crit rate recovery, attack boost, and 4 seconds of invincibility. So her 5th skill is kind of like the combo of Winter Soldier's new 5th skill and 4th skill. It's only missing ignore iframe, but otherwise it's got everything else. 100% ignore dodge for 8 seconds. Very substantial. She's got heals, she's got guard hits, she's got reflect. And the reflect will be very interesting to track because of Io. If Io has a gigantic HP pool, Crescent may be a very scary character for PvP, because even though she's reflecting damage and Crescent only has, let's say, 30,000 HP, which you can one-shot that. If Io has like 60,000 or 80,000, you're going to take so much reflect damage from that, unless you're iframing, that you'll pretty much die instantly. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how she does, but she does have very powerful skills. Keep in mind that the second skill that accumulates doesn't have any kind of protection. It doesn't have invincibility or immunity, so you have to combo Moon Taunt with something else. But otherwise, she's got immunity and guard hit and invincibility on multiple skills. White Fox, we thought would be kind of the throwaway character of the update. No, Netmarble doesn't seem to want to make kind of throwaway characters anymore, a la Sin, or pretty much any other speed type created in 2016. While she doesn't have any outstanding effects, I mean in terms of skills, she does have a Kumiho stance. I should have practiced this before I said it. Anyways, pretty interesting. Applies to allies with leadership, increases damage dealt to supervillain types by 60%. Now, I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but with leadership is not usually associated with this kind of effect. Usually it just says applies to allies. So I don't know if this is only the ally that is in the leadership slot that gets this ability, which is an interesting way of creating sort of positional characters or not, but we're going to have to wait and see. But 60% is a substantial buff. It's higher than any other buff we have in the game right now. And it applies to anyone. It doesn't have to be a hero. It could be a villain, as long as they have leadership, whatever that means. So we'll have to wait and see, but that will make her a very powerful support character. It means you're going to have to get her quest pack if you want to enjoy that juicy 60%. As far as the skills go, there's not a lot to talk about. She's got a heal with a self buff. She's got 5 seconds of charm on her 5th skill, Nine-Tailed Fox. She's got pretty nice animations, so that much is quite enjoyable, but we're going to have to wait and see just how powerful she is in terms of her damage before we can kind of make the final decision on how good she is. And then we have Morgan Le Fay. And Morgan Le Fay caused a bit of reaction from the community because she is part of the premium hero chest and some sort of shop sale, which means that she's like Emma Frost and Adam Warlock, and people were kind of a little bit salty because she's going to cost a lot of crystals. But then we looked here, and it says that she's also available in the universal processor, like the ultimates, which is good. You have another way of getting her bios, and also in the biometric selector. So this one's pretty weird. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused. I don't know what this means, and I don't know if I know what it means, but it means that she's completely free to play, and she's available through Shadowland bioselectors. I don't know why they would offer a character for crystals and offer her for Shadowland biometric selectors. Unless there's some sort of change to the bioselectors where you can only use a certain number per day on Morgan Le Fay to slow down people's progression, I don't see why anyone would go to the shop and pick up Morgan Le Fay for crystals unless she is equipped with a lot of additional resources like tier 3 materials or something that makes that purchase much more valuable. Because if it's just like Emma Frost where you get gear up kits and dimension debris and gold, honestly no one's going to do that. But hey, we have different options. That's very exciting. As far as the character, holy shit, she's very exciting. She revives back in time, 50% of her HP. So she is a revived character. We haven't had one of these in a long time. She's a universal female villain, which is a very rare tag. She's got a strong tier 2 passive with a bunch of different effects. And she's got good skills. She's got a V-pad skill. She charges around with that laser beam. It stacks a total of minus 25 all defense. Minus 25 is not bad. Gambit, for reference, goes up to minus 60. So I think minus 50 is where you start to see the really OP numbers. She gets half of that. You will see a dent being made in certain world bosses and certain game modes because of that minus 25, but it's definitely not as strong as Gambit or Deadpool's all defense down. But she's got summons, she's got a guard hit, she's got recovery. Yeah, she's got it all. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see Morgan Le Fay in action. We got the 4 new uniforms. The biggest thing to note is that they took away the 20% ignore dodge from Sharon Rogers' uniform, and she doesn't get that on her tier 3 skill, I believe. So she doesn't have any ignore dodge anymore. So we're going to have to kind of adjust her build accordingly. And then, yeah, we had the other 3 where we already knew the uniform bonuses from the update. The good thing here, I think, is that the sale price on Hyperion's uniform is $750, not $450 like it was for Loki and Hawkeye, which means that they recognize that $450 price tag for an aesthetic uniform only is just not worth it, which is good. We want them to know that because it's just not worth it for us. We need to have some sort of skill changes. We need to have some sort of uniform bonuses that make it worthwhile. We have potential for all of the new characters, including the 2 characters that are getting uniforms in Miles Morales and Hyperion, so they can all go to level 70, gear 25. And then, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, depending who you are, only Sharon Rogers will be getting her tier 3. So it's back-to-back updates with only a blast type tier 3. Now, Sharon Rogers tier 3 seems strong-ish, kind of. I don't know. The character is very strong, so the tier 3 skill, although, I mean, it looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. It shouldn't be that strong. We don't want insane power creep. We don't want Sharon Rogers to one-shot every character in the game with her tier 3 skill. I don't know, maybe you do, but I don't want this meta where it's just constantly chasing the next new character. I do want some consistency where old tier 3s, like her dad, don't get left behind. So the ignore defense is great, the penetration is great. Keep in mind the penetration does not include super armor, So that's a really important thing to notice. She won't be able to take advantage of that, so you don't necessarily need to build guard break immunity for her if she becomes a very powerful PvP character. I don't think she has penetration on super armor anyways with her normal skills unless you give her a CTP of destruction. And then with 100% chance she increases the charge rate of accumulation. Now I don't know if that doubles the amount of accumulation or if it doubles the speed of the accumulation. It's unclear. If it doubles the speed, it means she's going to get to that 225% buff. That's right, I said 225% buff. Watch my videos, you'll know what I mean. She'll get to that buff faster and more easily. If it's something else, it means it's going to jump to a 550% buff, which is hilarious. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. The other interesting thing to note is that it applies a 1-second buff to allies. Now, at first I woke up and I was reading the patch notes and I was like, why would you need a buff to your allies? You're not going to switch after using your tier 3 skill and it's only 1 second. And then I thought, oh, Alliance Tournament. Omega lol. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how impactful that 1 second of immunity and that 1 second of 50% damage reduction, how that works. And that's, I don't know, if that 1 second gets bumped up for some reason, multiple seconds based on the casting of the skill, if it keeps refreshing for 1 second over and over again, Sharon Rogers will probably be an instant include in every Alliance Tournament team, because I don't believe she's ever on a ban list. I could be wrong about that. And it's just a busted skill. The 50% damage reduction plus immunity, like that. Not only are you immune if they're not penetrating, but if they penetrate, they have a 50% damage reduction. I'm sorry, that's like the best skill in the game, basically. Give all your allies 50% damage reduction during a 3 versus 3 mega fight of the super whales. Anyways, we'll have to wait and see. I might be wrong about that. I might be kind of overestimating it. Then we have the Hyperion rework. I don't want to spend too long on this, but they did do Hyperion proud. He's got up to 45% all attack now instead of 24%. He's got heals with debuff removal on his 3rd skill, Sun God, which is excellent. He's got a whole bunch of different buffs on his 5th skill, but you do need to take a look very closely at the cooldown times. They have increased the cooldown times on both his 3rd skill and his 4th skill and his 5th skill. Holy shit, his 5th skill went to a 25-second cooldown. What are you doing, Netmarble? Why 25 seconds? I know that goes down to 12.5 seconds, but seriously, 12.5 seconds? What is this, 2015? We should not be seeing characters. I mean, I don't know. Should we be seeing characters with skill cooldowns over 10 seconds with a 50% skill cooldown reduction? I don't know. He's definitely not going to replace. I doubt he's going to replace Thor for ABX because he doesn't have tier 3 and because his best skill is on a 25-second cooldown. So it's not going to be able to line up with any damage proc. You'd have to line up his 4th skill with damage proc, which could work, but I'm just saying. Having your best skill only activated every 13 seconds is kind of a bummer. But he's got some cool effects. He's also got a tapping and holding to charge the skill. I don't see what charging the skill does except for the accumulation, but it's cool. I like the reworks to Hyperion and I'm excited to test them out even without the uniform. And then we have quite a host of improvements and I gotta give it up to Netmarble. They have been listening. That's the key word here, guys. They have been listening. Now you can see the level and the tier of your teammates in Giant Boss raids. You don't have to worry about them being tier 2 Spider-Man instead of tier 3, which makes a big difference. Or tier 2 Ant-Man. Oh God, save me. Tier 3 Ant-Man. Kind of cool. Want to see him get big. So that's pretty exciting. You can also do some other things. I think this was already in the game, so I'm not sure about this one. But now you can sort your characters by your most recently used. I love that. Please include that on every other game mode. Everybody wants that. Forever. Thank you. You can also, when you clear Giant Boss, you can also refresh with the same teammates. So you can kind of rerun the mission over and over again if you happen to find public teammates who can actually play the game, which is rare and now exciting. You can take advantage of that over and over again. And the most important thing, Giant Boss raid clear rewards have been improved, well, slightly improved, with more chances to earn type enhancement materials. I can't remember the last time that we had an update. The player base complained about something that was valid. That's the keyword here. And then the very next update, there was something in the improvements portion of the patch notes about that complaint. So kudos to you, Netmarble. Thank you very much. I'm in your corner. I will be in your corner supporting you. I'll be seeing how improved these rewards are, and I will be appropriately championing your listening skills or making fun of you for not going far enough. We'll have to wait and see. We have a new heroic quest pack for White Fox, which we know. We also have the ability to stop your quest pack because Netmarble realizes that a lot of people, myself included, are 3 weeks in to their quest pack, which means that they would have to wait like 10 days to start getting White Fox. I don't want to have to wait 10 days. That's dumb. So they're letting us stop it, but you cannot stop it if you were on the last region already. So we're going to have to wait and see if that applies to me or not, because I'm on the 3rd region right now, and applies to you guys or not. But yeah, I'm going to have to keep a close eye on this one, kind of personally. And then in addition to a new heroic pack, we have a new special mission quest pack, which is pretty dope. And it is for the new Avengers. And yeah, it's very surprising. I didn't expect this at all, but for tier 2ing characters like Hulkling, Songbird, and Squirrel Girl and Gwenpool, you're going to get rewards. I'm not sure if they're going to be adding hidden routes to this mission, but I hope that they are. It's the perfect time too. And then you get a CTP of Destruction for clearing the full quest pack. That's awesome. Free CTP. So yeah, I think this is a very balanced update. I'm loving it. And then there's a new item pack in the shop, which looks really lame at the beginning, and it's on a 15-day cooldown, which means you have to buy it twice per month. So whatever the cost is, you have to double it. Remember that, to compare it to other monthly rewards. But holy crap, the benefits are good. 300% increased inventory slots, bonus rewards in co-op, bonus rewards in World Boss, and 1 free refill every day of daily missions, special missions, or timeline battle. I don't know if that's or, meaning you can only choose one of the 3. Personally, I would choose daily mission because you get an extra 700,000 gold by just doing the gold mission twice. So this is a big deal. I mean, the clear tickets and the crystals are just whatever, dude. The special benefits are where it's at. So I would like to see this support pack in the range of like $5 to $8, which would make it $10 to $16 purchased monthly. I think if it's over $8, if it's $10, if it's $12, it might be a little bit too pricey, but it's still a very valuable, beneficial monthly thing. And then we have some other improvements to the game. They've added an extra inbox tab for your packs when you purchase things in the store for real money, so you can track those more easily, because they used to just funnel into your, I guess, your gift tab, and it was kind of all messed around and all kind of jumbled together. They added new uniform collections, so if you get all of these uniforms to Mythic, you get a small reward. I think the rewards need to be reworked and made better, but it's nice to see them expanding this in a big way for all the Guardians of the Galaxy, all the Doctor Strange uniforms, and the Captain America Civil War Iron Man side and Cap side. So that's cool. We've got the character ranking shortcut on the page, so for those of you that are obsessed with getting rank 1, you can more easily and more quickly track that. We've got auto upgrade for custom gear, which I think is super risky, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Don't do it. Shh, be quiet. You can now see what the shifter rewards are when you actually play the mission or repeat it rather than clear ticketing it, which is nice. There's improvements to Shadowland in terms of seeing more things, in terms of setting more teams, and in terms of taking advantage of the space. So this is some clever design by Netmarble. They're taking advantage of the space that they have on the page, and they are using that to show you the last clear that you did last week, rather than you having to back out, go to the main Shadowland stage, and then click the bottom left hand corner to see some stuff there. They made some changes as well to the assemble points with the purchasing energy when you have max assemble points, and then they fixed a bunch of other things in the game that were not working properly, including the most important one, which is fixing the issue regarding skills that had a continuous effect. So all the continuous beam skills, Blue Marvel, Cyclops, etc., were canceling or ending before you wanted them to end. Basically, they were just ending abruptly. So now they won't be doing that. So I'm quite excited about this update. I think there's a lot of things to be happy about for every player in the game. I think there's a lot of exciting things to see, especially Sharon Rogers and how powerful and impactful she's going to be, but also even White Fox and, of course, Morgan Le Fay. I'm very, excited. I hope you are too. I'll see you guys on Twitch tonight. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you tomorrow and tonight. Take care.